Hello guys, Cyprien from FU4. And in today's video we'll install together the new version of Salome Meca. So Salome Meca 2021 is finally available and there are a lot of changes. The first thing you see if you go on the codaster.org website and you click on the Salome tab, you see that this version, the new one appearing here, is no more written as universal 64 bits, but it's written as a Cyprien 9 Singularity container. So what is that? And also what I can see also is that the size has more than doubled. So I'm not very happy about this, but I guess is that there's much more stuff into it. So let's go down and see if there's an explanation about what is new. So okay, so let's see what we have. The 2021 version integrates, so we have Salome 9.7, which has more stuff into it. So I don't know exactly what, but probably if you go on the Salome website, you'll see that. You have the latest version of Codaster, the 15.4, as the stable version, and you have the old stable as well. You have Aster Study. You have Met converters. I don't know what this is, so I guess I'll discover it. And we have Europlexus. So Europlexus is nonlinear explicit code. So I've not covered it on the channel yet, but maybe that will come if I find it interesting to cover. Then we have new plugins called Cabri. I don't know also what this is. And we get also Codaster Translator and ASTK. So we have all of that. And here you have the way to install it. So to install it, we need to install first Singularity v3. So for that, we'll have to go to the Singularity website and talk a bit about what is this Singularity software, because it's a big change in the installation. So we'll need to download the container and then run this command to install it. But first we need to install this Singularity software. Okay, and I guess they're doing that because they are developing Salome Meca basically for Cyprien 9. So the fact that they have to put it to Ubuntu every time, it's it makes some bugs, I guess, that can be avoided, and maybe some of the functions that can be better translated. So I guess this Singularity way to install it makes it available, directly from the Cyprien version, and they don't have to do much conversion over it. Okay, so let's start by downloading this. So click on this link and let's save that on our hard drive, and let's come back when this is finished. And in the meantime, let's have a look at the Singularity website. So Singularity containers are a bit like Docker. So if you heard about Docker, for developers, it's a very big thing, because Docker is really useful as a software. And what this does is that you can think about containers a bit like a virtual machine, but it's different. If you build a virtual machine, you will have an actual, like an actual computer with a hard drive, with everything into a virtual world. So you have some kind of virtual computer encapsulated into a virtual machine. So you can open it, you can log into it as if you were with another computer. But a container is different. A container is like taking only some part of the system and making them interact together without actually building the whole virtual machine. So the advantage is that if you have a virtual machine, you need a lot of hard drive space on your computer. You need, like, I don't know, 20, 30 gigabytes at least to run a virtual machine. But a container, you can download really the minimum amount of files to run what you need to run. And what this does is that, for example, let's imagine that I am on Ubuntu and I would like to install software that only runs on Red Hat, for example, so it doesn't run on Ubuntu. So what I could do is I open a new container, I create a container that will be a Red Hat system, so based on the Red Hat distribution, and then I can install some modules I want on it, and then I can launch the container, and I can basically use it as if I had a virtual machine, but it would only partly use the resource of this container and partly use the resource of my actual computer on which Singularity or Docker are installed. So if you don't understand what I just said, because I know it's a bit overwhelming at the beginning, I recommend you to go on YouTube and check some videos about how Docker works. This is very, very useful stuff, because if you intend to do a bit of development going forward, you will hear about Docker. So let's now have a look at Singularity. So Singularity is some kind of system similar to Docker, and it can actually sometimes also launch Docker containers. So let's see how to install it first. So we need to have the following dependencies. So I think I have them already, but we'll nevertheless try to install them. So let's paste that. Oh, okay, so I don't know if that will work, we'll see. Okay, seems to be reading that, and okay, it's installing what needs to be installed. Okay, so that is done. So I only have the dependencies, so what needs to be installed in order to be able to run Singularity. Now I need to install Go. So Go is a language that will, because Singularity is written in this language, in Go, so I need to install Go, and I need to set that up as well. So let's go to the Go webpage and see how we can install that. So if I go on this Go website, it's written how to download the package, so I can download this and I can install it following this procedure. So in the command line, let's check if I already have Go or not. Well, who knows, maybe I already installed it. So Go version. Okay, I don't seem to have it. So, but I see that there is a way to actually install it using snap function. So this is new to Ubuntu 20.04. So if you are on Ubuntu 20.04, you can try this. So I'll just use that to install it. Okay, so seems like I need to open this. Now I just need to wait that this is installed. This might take a bit of time. Okay, so now this is installed, so we can check if I have the right version, and it still seems to be working. So now we can go back to the Singularity page and we can see how we can install it. So the first step is to clone the Singularity repository. So before I actually clone the repository, we see that they're using a variable called GoPath, and this variable is actually created here when they tell you to set up your environment for Go. So first thing I have to find is where is my Go actually installed. So there is a useful utility tool called where is, and I just could do where is go, and it will give me the path where this is installed. So it's installed in the snap bin go folder, so because I installed it with the snaps. So what I have to do now is to basically use this, copy, we'll paste that here, and instead of home, because it's not installed here on my case, I'll have to put snap in the bin go, and this will automatically create this go path variable, and it will put it into my bash rc file. Okay, so this, now if I type echo at go path, okay, I'm getting nothing, so maybe that's because I have to reload the bash rc. So let's so I could reload the prompt, or okay, I have, yeah, it's, let's do like that, source okay. Okay, so now I'm getting the, well, I could have also closed this window and reopened it, and it would have worked. But if you want to load the bash rc directly in here again, then you get the new variable. So this variable is now defined. And so the second line here is telling me that to put the executable of the go into my bash rc file. So I don't need to do that because I already have this setup in my path, because when I type go, I can open the go software. So this tells me it's already in the path, so I don't need to put it in the path again. Now I need to basically follow up those lines to copy this repository here from GitHub into my go path folder. Okay, not a directory. Okay, I guess my go path should have been not the bin, but just snap go. Yeah, I did a little mistake. It should have been like that, snap go. Because I just put the binary into the path, but this is not what's supposed. So let's resource that. Let's check variable. Okay, it's like this. Let's try now again to do this. Okay, permission denied, so I need to put a sudo. Okay, so now I created this. So I can check, basically I can go into my file, computer, so you see I have a snap folder, I have this go folder, and so basically this src copied from GitHub this Scilabs module. So now let's cd into that. Okay, and let's clone this GitHub repository. So of course you need to have git installed. Okay, again, permission problem, so sudo. And now we have to wait that it basically downloads the code. Okay, now that this is downloaded, if I open that, you see I have all the source files to compile this Singularity. So let's cd into this folder. We need to install Go dependencies. So okay, so let's just do what is written here. I'm not a Go user, so I'm also discovering this, but for the moment it's simple enough. So it seems that this dep way to install the dep package manager for Go is not used anymore, so it's deprecated. So I guess you don't really need to install this. It's probably an old instruction that you don't really need. So I will go directly to the next step, which is to compile the Singularity binary, hoping that this will work. So let's try this. So I'm in the Singularity folder, and let's run this command mconfig. So this should configure. Okay, I need a sudo here. So it should configure all the options to see if this is ready to install. Okay, so the make file is ready, and now it's telling me that I can use try this command, build dir and make. So I guess this is the same thing than what is written here, almost. So let's try what is written here. So now it should start to compile into the build dir, the source code. So when you install, don't forget the sudo, and then just wait that everything gets installed. So if everything went according to plan, you should have something telling you that everything is fine. So now you can go to the next instruction, and the last one, which is to install install Singularity. So you need this command for that. Let's just paste that and enter, and that's done. So now we have installed Singularity, and we should be able to run it. So let's try. Let's try by entering this command Singularity help. So I could leave this folder, I guess. I don't know if it's already in the path or not. We'll see. Help, and yeah, so I'm getting something, which means that Singularity has been installed. So okay, so if you want to know a bit more how Singularity works, you can go through those comments that tells you a bit more about how you can download pre-built images, how you can build containers and all of this. But now the purpose of this video is really to show you how to install the last version of Codeaster, right? So and Salome Meca, sorry. So let's go back to Salome Meca, and once you have this container downloaded, so there's 5 GB to download, then you should be able to run this Singularity command that we just installed. Run this, and you should be able to install it, so, and launch it using this command. Okay, I have now successfully downloaded the container, so let's look at the installation procedure. So the first thing we need to do is to enter this command in the terminal in order to prepare the container's environment and generate the launcher. So let's try this. Now that we have Singularity installed. Okay, so let's open terminal. Let's paste this command, and probably the file will not have exactly the same name, so let's make sure you get the same name. Let's execute this. Okay, so now we're getting something. To start Salome Meca, just use this command. So it seems that it has worked, because the next thing tells that we launch Salome using this command. So it should be working. So let's just try the command which is written here. And let's see if we can run Salome. So I'm seeing some errors. I hope it's nothing. and we have Salome Meca launching. I'll have to look into those errors, maybe there's something missing. But anyway, Salome is opening, so I think we are good. So I can try some of those functions. So let's open geom into it. It seems to be working. You have this help panel, which is new. Code aster. So stable version. So I'm not sure if seems a bit slower than the previous version, so I don't know if it's my computer or if it's this new way to install. And I'm getting a lot of errors. Mesa user error GL embedded enum. So I'll probably have to look into this to see if something is not installed correctly. Probably. Okay, so it kind of launched finally, so it seems to be working. So I did some search on this error, and it seems that this can happen if your Ubuntu 20.04, like me, is upgraded from 18.04. So this guy is suggesting that this may be due to old configuration files. And you can remove them using this command. So I'm going to try this. So after I restarted my computer, I noticed that the icons have changed, some of the visual stuff have changed, probably because I purged some old files from the previous Ubuntu release that I had installed before. Let's try again to see if now Salome still generates those strange error messages, or if it is now working correctly. So it seems that when I launch it right now, it's launching without any problem. Yep, and I don't have any more error message, so Salome new version 2021 is now installed. The only problem that remains is that when I open any module, I'm starting to see these errors from Mesa user error, GL invalid enum. So we'll need to have to figure out which module I have installed on my computer which is causing those problems. So after several days trying to solve this problem with the error message coming out of OpenGL, I finally went on the realization that maybe that's because my GPU is not correctly installed on my Linux installation, because I have two graphic cards and an Intel built-in graphic card, HD something, and an NVIDIA GeForce 1060. So, and if you go in the Ubuntu settings, you see that the one which is selected is the Intel HD graphics, which is the built-in one. So I think my GPU is just not correctly set up in Ubuntu, and you know, I went through a lot of articles on how to actually set up this NVIDIA graphic cards. I tried a lot of stuff. I I ended up having to reinstall my GNOME desktop because I installed some, I don't know, basically the NVIDIA graphics didn't work after install. Everything was black. I couldn't log in into my account. So I had basically a lot of problems after this. So I decided to have a look at how to do it. So if I now launch this new Salome version using just the path, so it starts in GPU mode like you see, so it's using the GPU of my computer, but as you will see, when I launch this in the session, I launch especially I launched the Aster study module. You will see that I'm getting an error. Yeah, I'm getting the 6sav segmentation violation. So I guess it's just because my graphic card is not correctly installed. So instead of using this, if you have the same problem, you can start in rendering mode using a 2-soft after the command. And in this case, you'll see it's now saying that you're starting in rendering mode. And the problem is you will get those error messages that I was getting previously, you know, saying that some functions were outdated or something. And this is just because it's you know, it's using Mesa to render the graphics. You can still use Aster Study. So after a few steps, you add a stage, you do some, I don't know, some changes on this. Maybe you change your module, I think, and you come back to Aster Study, and I think it will look okay. Yeah, now you see you get the correct visualization open screen. So so you can work with that. There should be no problem to do a normal simulation with this. Now the view is okay. Now the only problem is that in the terminal you keep getting those error messages, so it's a bit annoying. So what I did is that I posted a message on the Codasta forum to ask, you know, what was happening. So this is a message I posted, and basically I got an answer from H. Barrow. So thank you very much for answering my question. So he's asking if I'm using an Ubuntu virtual machine, and those Mesa warnings aren't harmful, it can be ignored. You know, so basically you should have a good GPU. So basically he confirms what I was thinking, that my problem is coming from the GPU install, and so my GPU is not installed correctly, which causes all those problems. And he gives me a solution to hide the errors, to basically append you can put that into your terminal with Singularity, and then this will hide all the error messages. So in this case you don't see this. So you can still work with this last Salome version using this way. But honestly, you know, after I went all this install process for this new Salome version, I'm not too much confident that I will use this one. I'll probably keep using the previous version until, I don't know, either they change this Singularity way to install, because I don't like it very much, or they kind of fix that. But you know, it's also my fault because my GPU is not installed correctly. So I guess I'll have to work on that, find a way to install this. There's plenty of videos online on how to do this, but you know, like I told you 2 days ago, I was like trying a lot of stuff, and I basically ended up not able to boot up and log into my session. So I prefer, you know, think about how to do it the right way, and well, maybe you'll see it. So if, let's say, I'm able to make a better install video showing you, you know, a smoother process with how to really solve this kind of problem as well, I'll probably you know, edit this video and re-upload it. Now if you have some comments, you think that, you know, I should do some special things, or what you think about this video, just let me know in the comments. And thank you very much again for watching all this. I'm really grateful to have you as my subscriber and my viewer, and thank you, and see you in the next videos.